Morning, bitches. How's it going? Sorry, I got distracted by my own shit. Anyways, my name is Kyle, and welcome into another episode of Random Shit with Kyle. We're already starting off really fucking great. Y'all, I don't know if you can hear this. I have a bracelet on today, and it's like metal, and it keeps touching things, and so I'd just be distracted all fucking day long. Here we go. Anyways, if you've never, happened upon one of my podcast episodes before, hey, hello, how are ya? We have a really weird time. It's usually a good time, but, you know, it's also a weird time. That's how things go. Do you ever just forget what fucking day it is? Because that was me yesterday. All day long. I was like, look at me getting my to-do list done, blah, 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 blah. And then I got to like 11:30 p.m., and I was like, oh, fuck me, it was Tuesday. So anyways, I missed that, but I decided, you know what, we're gonna keep trying. So today's a new dawn. Here we are, doing things on a Wednesday. Just pretend it's Tuesday. It's totally fucking fine. Anyways, I got most of my to-do list done yesterday, so killing it. This week is the week of the concert. If you don't know, we do a big concert, the Branson Chorale. Bunch of people singing. We have like 50, damn close to 50, 49 maybe. And then 20-something, 22-person orchestra. So it's super fun. It's free on Sunday if you're not doing anything. And live in Branson, Missouri. If you don't, bummer for you. It'll actually be hopefully live streamed. I do have all the rights to the music, but for some reason, Facebook does not always believe me. Fucking rude bitches. And they don't like ask for you to verify and put in codes or anything. They just like mute your video. So we'll see. Anyways, you can try to catch it there on the Branson Chorale Facebook page. So anyways, that was not an intentional plug, but here we go. I guess today's video is sponsored by the Branson Chorale. Probably not. I'd get in trouble for saying that because I cuss too much on here. Anyways, oh my God. My brain cannot. So I have this paper where I wrote down random things once upon a time to talk about. And they're like funny little random things. So here's one. Do you ever, do you have a voice inside your head? Apparently some people don't. Like my voice talks to me. It's an actual voice. It's not just like blank thoughts. You know, I don't know. Like, apparently some people don't have like an annoying little motherfucker running around in here doing whatever the fuck they want. Sorry, oh my God, I'm distracted again. I have like something white on my shirt. Today, apparently, morning is too hard for me. Anyways, so I have this annoying little motherfucker running around. And like, do you not have that? Because mine is constant. I can't get the bitch shut down, shut up. I can't do at night. It's just like all the fucking time, all the time. I cannot get it to stop. I can't get it to stop overthinking. I can't get it to shut the shit down. Like, we are on the go all the time, all the time. Also, does it ever sound like a tone deaf child running around? Because this bitch inside my head does. Like, it will purposefully sing, like My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion from Titanic, in, like, as tone deaf as humanly possible. And it'll just, like, right now, it's like, just, like, wailing away, just to go in. And it does that all on its own. I did not ask it to be tone deaf. But it decided to be. Sometimes it sounds great, but a lot of times it just sounds like someone running around on a unicycle, just singing whatever the fuck they want, and juggling and tripping over shit. Like, it is a chaoticness up in here. So does anybody else's fucking inner voice sound like that? Because it's a trip, y'all. And sometimes I want to put this fucking toddler in timeout. But it apparently hasn't found its timeout corner yet. So we're just here listening to it sing. Currently it is singing every Wicked song possible, right? It's mixing Loathing and Popular together. Loathing, unadulterated, popular, we're gonna be popular. It's just like on a loop, and it's mixing the two songs together, and it's driving me fucking crazy. So anyways, I don't know if that happens to you, but it for sure happens to me. Then another little treasure that was on this paper, because I cross out the things that I've talked about. But this one I had actually forgotten about. So my grandma on my dad's side, so my dad's mom, was a farmer, grew up as a farmer's wife, and they were the definition of farmer, you know, like they never went out to eat. They barely, I don't even think they ever went to church. Like they were that kind of farm. Like they were so, had so much land, and were like, he had 7 people in his entire high school. My dad did. So like, not just like his graduating class, like the high school had 7 people. And I actually think I think that was just the amount of people that were in the high school portion of this building. So anyways, it was a tiny, tiny place, and they grew up very, very like Farmerville. So, my grandma was a pretty tough bitch, and she would, you know, go out and do the things. Well, she was doing, I honest to God, I don't know what. I will have to find the article. It was literally in the paper. But my grandma got her hair caught in some farm equipment and scalped herself. So let me just put this in perspective for you. My father got his head ran over by a tractor when he was 9. Got all his teeth kicked out by a horse when he was 11. Okay? My grandma scalped herself with farming equipment. Okay? I don't feel like this was their calling. You know? Like it just doesn't, and all the article said, I can't remember what exact farm equipment it was, but all the article said was scalped herself, had to go to the hospital, and like have major repairs done. Like, but I always knew her to have hair. I don't think it was a wig. I will say I only saw her like a handful of times, because she was a crazy, crazy bitch. Like, not in a cute way. You know, not like the gays are like, oh my God, you're a crazy bitch. Like, that's cute. That's when you're like their best friend. No, she was off her rocker. And it happened, I guess, around the time that my grandpa died. He died 2 months before I was born. So, like, I didn't know any of my grandpas growing up. My other grandpa died, like, years before I was born. And then that grandpa died 2 months before I was born. And then apparently she just, like, kind of went crazy. And then the Alzheimer's and dementia started setting in real heavy. And they had, like, the siblings, they were a lot. And so one time we were out of town, and my grandma lived in Hastings, Nebraska, which was a couple hours away from us. And my aunts and my uncles could never get along. Never could. They still, to this day, some of them can't be in the same room as the other ones. The feuds go deep and real with them, apparently. So anyways, we were out of town. We were on a family vacation, and back then we took like 2-week-long family vacations. It was like a road trip, and we would go to like Colorado and Wyoming and like, you know, 6 of the surrounding states and do whatever, and then come back. And so while we were away, my Uncle Ray, who lived in Kansas City at the time, went to Hastings, Nebraska, packed my grandma up, and moved her into a townhouse that was just a few miles down the road from where we lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. Because he didn't want to take care of her, but he knew that she needed taken care of. So without telling anyone, no sibling knew that she was moving. All 5 of them didn't know. They had no clue, except for my Uncle Ray, who was moving her. Moved her in, didn't say a goddamn thing until we got back from the trip, and then he was like, by the way, here's this address. Your mother is living there. And my dad was like, I'm sorry, what? So it was a whole thing. Anyways, the whole point to that story was I couldn't tell that my grandma got scalped once upon a time. So I guess good for those doctors who stitched her back up, but like, ow, no wonder she was kind of a bitch. I wouldn't want, no, I am such a tender-headed baby though. Like, I mean, I don't know how my family, parents, whoever, didn't know that I was trans, because when I was a baby, they would put bows in my hair, and I would rip all of my hair out to get that bow out. All of it. I didn't care. And I had a lot of hair when I was born. Apparently I had about as much as I do now. Anyways, so, yeah, I can't imagine the whole scalp thing. But a lot of crazy shit has happened to my family. Like, most of it's my dad. He chainsawed his leg, and oh my God, my dog just scared the shit out of me. I forgot he was in here today. And he was asleep on the chair, and it's kind of like obstructed from view from one of my leatherworking machines. Thank you. Oh my God, he just foofed at me. That scared the crap out of me. He was completely hidden, and then he just popped up like the Huns out of nowhere. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with any of that. So that is where that's where my brain was at. I finished up talking about that list. Oh, the crazy shit that's happened to my family. My dad chainsawed his leg off because he's paralyzed on his left side, and he couldn't feel that the chainsaw was in his leg, so it got stuck in there, and he pulled it out. Weird shit. He drilled through his hand once at work and didn't notice it until it was through his hand, because, again, paralyzed on the left side. It's crazy. And I get that from him, apparently. I've had, 6 surgeries, 7 surgeries, 8 surgeries? Damn. By now I can't remember. It's at least 7, though. Maybe 8. And I injure myself all the time. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We're it's fine. We're going to do a couple of cards today. Okay, the first one is 5 of diamonds. And it says, what shape is the sky? What the fuck kind of question is that? Who wrote this? I mean, obviously I did. I don't remember this question, though. What shape is the sky? Not a shape? I don't think it can be a shape. Here's the thing. Are shapes, is everything a shape? Like, if we're getting real philosophical about this. Are there just shapes that we haven't discovered yet or named? Like, for real. What is the shape of infinity? Because, like, is the sky infinite? Is the sky a globe shape that is just bigger than the land globe that we sit on? Is it a 3D shape instead of a 2D shape? Like, how crazy about it are we getting? Because I'm not sure. I don't know that I can name the shape of the sky. I guess my best guess would be like a globe, yeah. Because it doesn't have an end, and it follows the earth. So if we're believing that the earth is not flat, then it can't just be a circle, because that's a 2D shape. So I'm going to go with a globe, and a really tentative answer for that, because that is the world's weirdest question. Who the fuck decided it? Where was editing on that? Who the fuck let that go through the cracks? God, I don't pay people enough around here to answer questions like that. Stupid. Also, this is actually morning, so that was a weird question for the actual morning. I'll have to talk to production about that. That was stupid. Okay, next question. 10 of hearts. Would you donate your body to science? Why or why not? Okay, really? These questions are a lot today. I feel like I would donate my body to science. I'm trans, so there has to be some things about my brain that they really want to know. my dad almost donated his body to science, and I wish that he would have, but it was my fault that he didn't. So at the time, I was living in Louisiana, and that was just like 13-ish hours away from where I grew up. And so the deal was like he filled out all the forms and got it approved, and he was going to donate his body to science because his brain was reversed and he had the like partially paralyzed thing, and he lived, and the blah blah blah, like he got ran over by a track, like all of the things. Like there was a lot of things that he should have studied about my dad and my dad's brain. But then the final step of that was approving that your body would be taken away within 12 hours of being deceased. And in case because I was in school at the time, so in case I was like in a final or something and like couldn't get away immediately, I would never be able to see my dad's body. And I know that that sounds weird, but like for me, having closure of actually seeing him like dead helps a lot in terms of like believing that the events that I have been told are real. I have a really intense problem with that, like with not being able to like see the end of things. And then like my brain continuing to think, it's like the whole object permanence thing. So like if I don't see the end of it, like the actual end of it, then my brain just kind of puts it in that place of object permanence where it's like, yeah, that thing still exists somewhere in the world, and I just am not seeing it at this moment. Like, so for example, if I put files away on my computer, they don't exist anymore. Like they quote unquote exist, and I know that they exist, but like I never think about them. I will never go look for them because they're just always there. They're just always somewhere. Like, and I never have to think about it or figure it out again. So that's kind of the same-ish thing. It's like if I don't see the end, then my brain has a really hard time accepting that like the end actually came and that like he's not just hiding somewhere, you know? So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense at all or not, but that's the thing. So, and I was 13 plus hours away, and one of my aunts was 15 hours away, and she also wanted to see, like, do a visitation and whatever. And so they made the decision to not donate his body to science because of that. So it's kind of my fault, and that sucks because I was actually there. Like I was there for like a week and a half before he passed away, but I wasn't entirely sure that I was gonna be. So anyways, and I think my Aunt Betty did not make it in time though. She was out of town, so she was even farther away. She was out of town for work and flew like, it would have been like a 20-something hour drive. So yeah, she wouldn't have made it in time. Anyways, the whole thing, what the fuck was the question? Oh, should you donate your body to science? I feel like I would. I obviously don't have children, so the person that needs to see me is Claire. And I can't imagine being that far away from her. But yeah, I would definitely donate my body to science. I think that there is something within my brain that they could investigate and learn more about trans people. If you don't know, trans people and trans things exist in the world. And actually, that's going to be a really great topic for Friday's episode. So I am going to talk about trans DNA, and I'm writing it down right now so I don't forget, and trans animals. Because I don't think that most people realize that they exist within the world. And it's kind of like a new discovery, kind of like how I'm not even sure that people realize that like there are a lot of gay animals in the world. So again, I'll talk about that for Friday's episode. So anyways, that was that question. Would you donate your body to science? I guess I don't know why quote unquote regular people would. Like, I don't know. Like, unless that, like, one of the people that I did a funeral for, he donated his body to science, but he was a scientist. And he wasn't like that kind of scientist. He was like, you know, a nature kind of scientist. But he, you know, he worked at a university, and so he got to see a bunch of those students that were in medical prep and all of that stuff. And so he donated his body to like be used for procedures and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I don't know why regular people would, but maybe. All right. Next card is the Two of Clubs, and it says, what bug annoys you most? Oh my God. That is the most appropriate question for right now. It is freaking December. I almost said November. It is December 4th. There is a fucking fly in my studio. One fly. It has frozen the last, like, it's been below freezing the last few nights. How has this bitch survived? What drugs did this fucking fly get into to live past the freezing, to live this long, to procreate in my studio, to make more baby? I don't understand it. I don't like it. It pisses me off. And why do they make such noises at the window? Why are they so goddamn loud? Like, it's annoying when they fly by your ear and they go buzz. Like, I don't like it. It's fucking annoying. But why? Why when they get next to a window are they as loud as an entire symphony in a fucking concert hall? Why? I don't understand it. It drives me insane. Am I the only one that can hear it that loud? Is that just a me problem? Because they are so fucking loud. It drives me insane. Anyways, that little rant. A fly. Currently, the fly that I can see just chilling on my fucking window. Right now, it's not bouncing around, but give it a minute. I'm sure it will. And I feel like I have like bug traps and I have fly repellent and blah, blah, blah. And there's always one of them. It's fucking annoying. So if you have tricks to get rid of flies, let a guy know, because I am over it. I can't anymore. All right, one more question. It is the Jack of Hearts, and it says, what time period would you time travel back to? Oh, man, I feel like I have a ton of different time periods I would want to time travel back to. Like, you know, oh my God, I have so many. Like, I'd want to see, like, actual castratis from the Baroque period, and I'd want to, like, and go to those crazy-ass operas that Handel wrote and things like that. I'd want to see, like, what an actual Shakespearean play was like. I would also want to go fact-check the Bible, because I don't believe all of the crazy crap that is in there. Because, like, to me, it's like playing telephone. And you can't play telephone with 4 people, let alone 4 bajillion people crossing hands of different languages and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I would want to go fact check a few things. I think that literally it would just be very interesting. I also, like, personally feel like I came from the 20s, like the 1920s. And so I would want to go hang out in the 1920s just to see what it was like. But I would want to go, like, pick where I could go. You know, like, I wouldn't just, like, want to go in Branson in the 1920s. I'd want to go, like, New Orleans, 1920s. I don't know. You know, like, do you get to pick the place and the time, not just the time? Are you bound to the place that you're already at? How fancy is this time machine that we're working with? And do I have to build it? Do you guys remember the Family Matters episode where, like, Steve Urkel built time machines and stuff? Man, I loved that show. I'm gonna need to look that show up. See if I can get it on DVD, because I love that show. That show and Mama's Family and the Golden Girls, I Love Lucy, the Beverly Hills, all these shows are so good. And if you don't like them, you need to go check them out. The last thing I need to talk about is, have y'all had these things? They're Cheez-Its, but they're called Grips, and they come in a package, and they're like the equivalent to the size of mini M&Ms, but they're Cheez-Its, and they're so fucking good, and they're from my childhood, and I didn't know that they were back, but they're back, and I found them at Walmart, and they're so fucking good, and I've eaten them every day. And I introduced Claire to them because she had never heard about them, and they have changed her life. And so if you have not experienced Grips by Cheez-It, you need to. They are magical, and I think that they will absolutely change your life. So, on that note, this is not sponsored by Cheez-It, but if Cheez-It wanted to give me a go, I could use a lifetime supply of Grips. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, well, I love you. I hope you have a great morning, noon, night, whatever the fuck this is for you. And I will talk to you in a couple of days. Bye, bitches.